after watching, I mean, I did sympathize as far as with the women, as far as what they went through. We already knew that from a long time ago he was a pedophile, whether you label it that or not. Whatever you want to call it, he had interest in younger women. We've known this for a long time. It's been overlooked for a long time. As far as the depth that they went into, as far as telling their story, as far as what was going on personally behind closed doors, what wasn't put out in the media, and that they endured what they endured. And it's hard to say, you can't put blame on one party, although you can put blame on Kels because he knew better. He was the adult in the situation. He knew what he was doing and how to maintain the personal lifestyle that he wanted to maintain with these individual women, well, young girls at the time. And some of them, they were grown women, I think like maybe 2 or 3. And how like later on, how he kind of got smarter with what he was doing versus the recklessness, how he was going about it when he first started picking the young girls, how he would wait until they were close to 18 when it could no longer be, hey, she's underage, this is statutory rape, this is pedophilia. No, these are grown women, quote unquote, by law. So there wasn't much trouble that you can really get into. As far as holding them hostage, he does have a defense because he can always say they were free to go at any time. But when you get into a person's mind, you can control them to do what you really want them to do without having to tell them to do it. Because you've gotten so close to them, they already know your ins and outs, and they don't want to be on your outs. So what else is there to do but for me to stay?
And he preys on people who do not have the resources to lead. He waits, gets you to trust him, gets you to let your guard down, gets you away from your resources.
Yep.
And sometimes when you don't have money, how are you gonna leave? You ain't even finna eat. You can't even get back home. That's why they felt a hostage. Like, you don't even let me go work. I'm not even pursuing my career and making money off my career at this point. I'm solely dependent on you. That's hostage-like behavior. But I feel like the whole special was bullshit. Off top.
Why did you feel it was bullshit?
Because with all the people who said they seen, saw, and knew what was happening, there hasn't been an arrest made. They haven't been charged with anything. That's accessory to crime. Anybody who allows a child to go through what they said they went to should be killed. No jail time. We need to put you against that wall, get some pistols, and let you have it.
It's firing squad.
Firing squad.
I do completely agree with that.
But I understand why they feel the way they feel. Although by law, he can get in and out, but law does not apply to niggas. You know better. If she is in high school, leave her alone. It don't matter. It don't even matter if she's 18 in high school. That means she's still a child in her mama's house. She hadn't even, her parents don't even trust her enough to be by herself at this point. Leave her alone. Why? What is you over there for?
Exactly.
Come on, bro. It just looks bad because it's too many accusations for too long.
Exactly.
For too long.
And for you to be settling out of court with people for things that you are doing, and you're paying people off to keep quiet, and you're having all these people sign non-disclosure agreements so they can't talk about it or whatever they did or whatever they were awarded in the settlement.
They have to give back.
They have to give back.
I didn't appreciate how Lifetime brought in 10,000 psychologists from across the country and intertwined definitions of, manipulation and definitions of this into the story to steer your way of thinking. That I did not appreciate. Me personally, until I hear what R.Kelly has to say, until these women step forward and press charges, pursue with something legally needs to be done. Nobody has a picture of the room. Nobody has a picture of them in the room. Nobody has a video of them in the house. Nobody has no footage of anything, but it's a lot of wordplay as to what's going on. 2005, 2007, 2008, up until now. During that time frame, that's 10 years of technology, we've had smartphones or we've had technology where we can record things. These girls was going, I'm not saying what R.Kelly did was right. Let me put that out there. I'm not saying what R.Kelly did was right.
Let me say what he's saying. He's
All
not
right.
talking about the situation. He's talking about the structure of the program.
The way the events are being spread out, the stories that are being said, where is the evidence?
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
When the last girl, for example,
Mm-hmm.
she went in and found out she had herpes. Get a DNA swab to show y'all had sex. You could have had that done on the spot.
Am I healthy? Am I about to die?
I understand that.
Because they said uncurable disease. Is that AIDS? What is going on with me?
He was the one that was doing a recording, allegedly, of the acts, which, from the tapes that
You
tape that
cannot
did
sit
come
here
out,
and tell me.
you can't say.
It's 30-something over all these R. Kelly victims. And there is not one victim that has one picture, one video clip, one hospital bill, one something that shows that there is a trace from R. Kelly to them. There is a link somewhere. There has to be
And if he's
one piece
holding
of
that link,
information. No,
what can you do?
No,
And the
I'm
women
not
that were
buying.
there,
I'm not buying.
The women that were there, first off, they brainwashed. So they're not even thinking about recording any type of acts. First off, they don't even think about really leaving. Because the only thing that they can think about is what is happening to them at the moment. How are they going to survive? What if he gets mad, or whatever the case may be? Looking at it, you're saying as far as the inconsistency, who is to say that she did not try to leave and that he sent people to go back and get her just because this one person, this grown woman, decided to leave a home that she was in? Who's to say who was there when she left? Who's to say what the situation was at the time that she was able to leave or to walk out?
They weren't having threats put on them, their life and their family's life, like the other girl stated.
Victims told their story. They answered the questions that they were asked. They explained to people what was going on to them. They can't speak for what was going on for the other girls, even though they were there. They weren't even allowed to talk to each other. They weren't even allowed to see each other. With one girl, the girl that was friends with the other girl, how they used to even try to meet up to a single bathroom and never was able to meet up with each other. And they had the cell phones. So you can't say that they're discredited as far as what their story was, because everybody has a different story as far as what was happening to them. But collectively, the same thing that was happening to one was damn near happening to them all. They had consistent stories as far as the
major
methods
points were consistent.
that he
the
was
details were not, because it's different
as
people
he
with different
got
stories.
older, he changed his MO a little bit as far as how he was deceptive to get them to be there. Once you brainwash somebody to get in, once you get in someone's
Look,
head,
we gotta
think about it. Look
wait
at what he's doing.
a minute. We gotta be cautious with the word brainwash. Okay? We can't just
when you
throw
control
brain.
someone's
Hold on, wait
way
a minute.
of thinking,
Wait a
that's
minute.
brainwash.
You can't throw brainwash after someone asks you a question. Come to my house in Chicago. Yes, I'm brainwashed. And no.
And she told you that he did not
no.
ask. He told them that that's where they were gonna go.
You're going
And
to
they
Chicago.
weren't even in a house
No.
in Chicago. They were in a studio.
You're
It
coming to
wasn't even a
Chicago.
house.
No.
You know dudes that pick up young girls and marinate that pussy, and I hate to say it like that.
I'm not going to deny that.
They pick up young girls and marinate that pussy and fuck their head up while they're waiting for their opportunity.
And a lot of times you don't even have to have sex with them to mess their heads up. Any type of certain affections, especially at a younger age, their brain isn't even fully developed. So you're showing them this attention. That's what they're going to gravitate to. That's what they're going to hold on to.
And notice what they,
And that's what they know. And you suck them in.
Let's talk about them parents. Those parents should be arrested and locked up. All of them.
All of them.
All of them. I don't even care about the woman, Dominique's mother. I don't care about her. Arrested and locked up. Arrested and locked up. Because I'll be damned if my child is in a studio and I see a person in that studio and I got my gut feeling telling me that's my child. I'll be damned if if I stand
Well, she
outside
said
that window and
she did
throw rocks?
not know if that was her child, not because the person came
No,
to
he
shake
just
the
said
shade
gut
to.
feeling.
I said gut. If my gut told me that's my child, or if I got that tip that my child is there, I am going to bust that door.
I'm taking a
down.
5.
No,
You
but
have
what
to
I'm
be
saying
sensible
is,
about your interest.
I understand that, but my child is in there.
Your child
My
is
child,
in
who I raised, who when she first came
Okay.
out, that's the first person who looked at me.
Hold on. With this being said, at this point in time, when they finally got back to Chicago and throwing rocks at the window and whatever the case may be, even if she would have came out, she didn't have to leave with them because she's of age.
That's fine. I don't
You
care.
wanna see her,
I
make
need
sure
to
she fine.
know. I want to see if my daughter's even breathing, because I don't know if she's breathing.
But you can't just go in busting down the door for a grown person.
I don't give a damn. That's
I
my
have
daughter.
children.
I
will go to the extreme for mine.
I don't give a damn. That's mine.
Did you notice the accent of those parents?
I did. I
Okay.
don't know.
Okay. Let me.
I ain't
They're
paying attention to that.
Two. They're from Baltimore. They're from B-more. Why the fuck y'all ain't getting ratchet out there? Y'all trying to look like good black citizens. No. Flip your nigga switch. Get the fuck in there. Flip that switch. We all
You
can
can't-
flip.
you can't
When you
depend
know
on the
when you know
police
some
to
shit
get you
going
there.
down, get the fuck in there. You from B-more.
She had no
And
business calling the police because they can't.
That's what I'm like. The police can't do.
What's the
can't do
purpose of
shit.
that?
Let's get ratchet.
They can't do anything.
Let's
so
cut
I
up.
wouldn't even involve the police at that point. For what? You want them to do a wellness check? Okay, they're fine and dandy. If they can't
But
get
they say
in,
we
like they
can't
couldn't.
get in. He's like, what you
We
want us to
can't do a wellness check and we can't force them to open the door. So at this point, you guys are useless.
I mean, I'm not gonna say he doesn't have people in the police department, but it's kind of hard to pay somebody in the police department when you ain't got no money.
You got no.
At the
I'm not
height
gonna
of your career, you already done paid them. And so they were looking out for you. And at this point, you're already involved in it. So only thing you have to do is like, hey, I'm gonna tell such and such you had something to do with it. That's jeopardizing their livelihood. So they're still gonna be on his side regardless if he has money or not. We victims right now.
Javante Cunningham. I want to say that's her name. The backup singer. You were a backup singer with this man when you were 14. You sat there and watched and was there for everything that went on and happened. You was there for everything. You recall every story. You recall every incident. You recall times when you saw this man having sex with an underage child. You deserve to be put under a jail cell. You deserve for the key to be thrown away because you are a sick-ass individual. And I wanted to put that shit out there.
But how can you expect a child to do the right thing?
One, she wasn't one of the girls. She was a backup singer.
But
Two,
still,
hold
at
on,
the time,
hold
she
on.
was a
Still,
child.
she was still a child.
Hold on,
was still a child.
hold on. She wasn't a child 15 years into this. She wasn't a child 20 years into this. You're no longer a child. You're an adult. You know better. And even as a 14-year-old child, he's not manipulating your mind. He's not brainwashing your mind. You were there the entire time.
And, hold on.
You
To
knew
mention
what
on
was
that,
going on.
He
Come
also
on, man.
fell out the people before he went to that next step. To
You right.
see as far
You
as
right.
where their mind was at. And if he felt like he can control them, then he brought them in. He slowly...
That is a
he's-
predator mindset. Like I said in the beginning, this is some bullshit because nobody's been charged.
And I
All
think
the
a
people
lot
who
of
have
people
watched
should
this
be charged.
should be charged for knowing.
There is no reason for him not to have been charged with that sex tape came out. Regardless
But
of the
when
fact, if the girl said it wasn't her, you know that girl was underage. Whoever was on the tape.
But here's the problem.
You have to have evidence that she's underage.
One.
Yeah.
Two, her brother, her father, and her mother denied that was even her in the
child.
tape. Now, I don't know what happened behind closed doors. I don't know if they settled outside of court with R.Kelly not to say that was her on the tape. I don't know, and I can't
His
say
dad
that.
was still the bass player.
Yeah, but I can't say that. We can't say why. Okay, we can't. We can only go by what was presented to us when they went up in that courtroom. She said it ain't her. It ain't her. We don't know who that is on that tape, and we don't know how old that girl is on that tape. We don't know. There's two things we don't know because we don't know who it is. We can't say she's 14. Well, who is it? That's so-and-so from down the street. Well, she's really 15. I mean, I'm not saying that makes it better, but
people,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's people that seen it that knew exactly who it was. I mean, Even though you just can't, I guess since she didn't come
just-
forward, I mean,
She's got to come forward and say that's her. Regardless if she's manipulated, brainwashed, she's got to say, hey, that's my ass cheeks on this camera.
I have never been accused of sleeping with anybody underage.
me neither.
I've never put myself in a position to be accused of sleeping with anybody underage. When Lil Cuz was in middle school and he wanted me to take him to the movies with these little girls, because he like to talk to girls his age. No, we're not going nowhere dark where can't nobody see me. We're not.
I know that's right.
We're not.
That's protecting yourself.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, no.
We could go to the skating rink. I'm gonna be way over there. You have all the fun you want to be. I'm gonna be skating by myself.
I feel you.
It's too many situations where he's around people of a certain age he shouldn't be around in the first place.
I'm
We
gonna argue
have to address that.
I'm not gonna argue that.
And just as far as
Because all these superstars
I'm not gonna argue
who
that.
are R&B people
but
and have the same power are not doing that to young women. They're not doing not even young women.
That
The
we
girls.
don't know of.
But there
We don't know of.
But this
previously
the thing.
that was
He's had people coming out with accusations. Anybody saying nothing about Chris Brown? Anybody saying nothing about Trey Songz? Anybody saying nothing about Alex Garcia? Anybody saying
as far as bringing up charges against him, a lot of the time has passed, so you can't get him for statutory rape of an underage person because there's a certain time frame that you can file those charges. It's been years. It's not like murder to where it doesn't have a statute of limitation. Statutory rape does. I think it's maybe 3 to 5 years or some range. It's not very long. So you
That's
can't
why they
bring
charge
him
with
up.
child pornography.
And if they were able to come up with the tapes, then maybe they could get him with something. With those girls on it that are saying, okay, yeah, this was me, he was doing this. But as far as charges, you have to find something else now to bring him up on. Because you can't get him for statutory rape.
Agree.
So what can you get now? You can't get him for kidnapping because the only thing that his lawyers have to argue is the door was open, they were free to go at any time, regardless of their mind state to where they're not going to just leave. Mm-hmm. The argument is there.
I wanna hear R.Kelly's side.
Yes.
And I know a lot of y'all might not agree with that. But there's 3 sides to every story. Your side, my side, and the truth. And if you don't get both sides, you can't pass judgment until you get both sides. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying the victims are incorrect. Again, I'm not saying
Us too.
the victims are incorrect. All I am saying is that we have to get R. Kelly's story in order for us to puzzle this all together.
And I can't wait for him to put out that website.
Because he's got a website he's coming out with.
If he has documentation and proof, that little situation we had earlier, I'm going to bring that right on back up and we're going to have a discussion.